Hi, good day everyone. Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Baduri binti Abdul Halim. I'm a presenter from University Technical Malaysia Melaka, UTM, Malaysia. I'm a language teacher. So this is my video paper presentation for International Conference of Research on Language Education, IRoLE 2021. My paper is entitled The Use of Semiotic Approach as an Intervention in ESP Classroom. My area of interest is ESP, and this is actually an um, action research that I conducted to my own class. Right. So let me start. So the pillar between this study is communicative competence and semiotic approach in my ESP class. So it has been witnessed that teaching methods and approaches in ESP have gained a lot of attention. People have done so many ways in order to deliver ESP classes. So in my study, I'm highlighting the communicative competence with the use of semiotic element as an intervention in order to deliver my class, which focused on product description. Okay, so the semiotic form used in this study is a video. It's entitled DIY, Do It Yourself, Stand-Based Gunpla Using Runner. So it's actually a YouTube video, and as I mentioned before, it's an action research. Okay, so let me explain further the research questions that I'm looking at in this study. So firstly, I would like to know how does students view the use of the Gampla video for the product description lesson, whether they're happy, they feel that it gives them any good. And then I would also like to know, does the lesson become more meaningful with the use of the video? And finally, does the video help in achieving the lesson objectives? That means whether does it help them in producing good product description. So moving on. So this is the idea of the the idea of video selection is based on a few past research. Okay, based on Senel 2007, he mentioned that the use of video actually contributes to effective teaching and learning process in English lessons. And Riley, 1979, viewed semiotic forms positively in contributing to a final meaning or message of which they are an intrinsic part. So I like the part where a video actually becomes something that is intrinsic in nature, because maybe with the form of the visual, the movement, and so on. And then the chosen video is DIY Gunpla Stand video on YouTube as a realia. This is chosen based on its familiarity to students. Students are very familiar with YouTube videos. Some more it is do-it-yourself videos. They are very, they really love all these DIY videos. And there are also other studies that have highlighted the use of videos in their studies. For example, like Sahin and Secker 2016 and Wang 2015. All right, so this is the design of my research. Since I mentioned it's based on action research, so there are three main steps involved. Firstly, planning that involves reconnaissance, taking action, and fact-finding about the results of the action. So I somehow I customized it to my own study. So first part, what I did was I conducted some kind of needs analysis by doing observation. As students were given instruction to watch the video, they were required to describe the task, how to actually assemble the Gampla, how to come up with the Gampla. And then that's where I conducted the lesson. And at the end of the study, I actually got their feedback to see what's their perception on the lesson that has taken place. All right. So for this study, I have used homogeneous purposive sampling, where I use my diploma of electrical engineering diploma students, who took English for Effective Communication, which is one of the ESP classes that they had to take. So in order to see the feedback to answer the research questions, I use the questionnaire method, right? 5-point Likert scale was utilized. We have like from ranging from low to high, 1 to 5. All right, and then the questionnaire intended to see the feedback on the teacher, the content of the lesson, and also the teaching method. So for each of these components, there are a few things that they have been asked. And I also asked them open-ended questions where students will ask their opinion about the use of video, how they feel about it, whether they take it as something positive or any other feedback that they can share with me. So for some of the findings that I would love to share here is, all right, so in my study, I use SPSS to analyze my data. And for SPSS, I have used Chromebooks alpha analysis, multiple linear regression analysis, and also frequency for each of the Likert scale. All right, so in terms of my questionnaire, this is the reliability. It's 0.913, which is very high. So we can say that the questionnaire given to the students are reliable. And then in terms of the variables involved in the questionnaire, I have independent variables. I have A and B, as you can see on the table here. And my dependent variable is C. C is the outcome of the lesson that has been carried out in the study. All right. So I would love to know which of my independent variables are actually more prominent in, affecting to C. So this is the result for multiple linear regression. As you can see here, indicated in my slide, the value is very small, 0.000. So it shows that independent variables A and B, they reliably predict the dependent variable C. So we have a very clear relationship here. Okay, and then in terms of coefficient, all right, the result shows that B is the strongest predictor. B here is actually the method used in conducting the lesson. So I'm interested to know whether it's the teacher that has contributed much or whether the method is proven to be something that is superior when the lesson was conducted. So these results show that the content and teaching method used in this study are the bigger predictor to the knowledge outcomes, okay, than the speaker in this semiotic approach. So this is actually a very good finding. We can know that perhaps maybe some implication here. If the teacher is not very much, perhaps not very much knowledgeable, not very much experienced, the teaching method can actually help in order to make sure that the lesson becomes successful. So this is actually something positive that can help many teachers in planning their classes. I'm sharing here items on the instructor. So you can see the mean score here. Knowledgeable in content areas 4.4, content consistent with objectives 4.5, and clarified content in response to questions 4.4. And as you compare to items on method, so method part has gotten a higher mean score. Visual aids, handouts, and oral presentations clarified content. Teaching methods were appropriate. So apparently students valued the teaching methods used in this study. So as for open-ended question, where I put the question on Padlet, which is also interesting because students were somehow were attentive when they were introduced to Padlet, which is an online platform where they can work collaboratively. So majority of the students responded positively. I'm sharing here some of the feedback that I got from the students. So they take it as something interesting and engaging compared to having the normal lectures in class, having the teacher to explain everything. And those who are visual learners, they take it as a very interesting class. and they suggested the use of more visual materials for future lesson. Someone mentioned here the class will be more exciting and entertaining when using visuals because nowadays generation is more likely into visuals than other ways. Therefore, I think it would be more better if we use more visuals in all of our classes. So this is an interesting feedback that I got from the student that I feel worth sharing. And there's another one. I had a lot of fun in the class when Madam used the video as one of the ways to take our interest while we learning. The video made it easier to understand the topic that we need to learn. So it's very interesting that they know that the teacher is trying to get their interest. So for me, this is a very refreshing feedback, which kind of motivate teachers to explore further on the use of videos in teaching. Conclusion here is this semiotic form, which is video use, has proven to be impactful to students, especially in delivering meaning of the lesson and enhancing students' communication skills. And it has received great acceptance by students where the lesson objectives were achieved and students found it to be meaningful and interesting, that it actually got their attention. And also it's a great advantage to some visual learners. We know that students may vary in terms of their preference in learning. So the relationship between this semiotic approach and the understanding of the students is visible based on the data presented today. I think that will be all for my paper presentation. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.